Have you ever felt like you're just sprinting on a treadmill in a totally pitch black room? You know, you're sweating, you're exhausted.
Yeah, pouring your heart into something and getting nowhere.
Exactly. Whether it's parenting or just grinding away at a thankless job, and then you finally stop and realize you haven't moved an inch.
Right, it feels completely in vain. And that sensation of, well, total futility is just this terrifying universal anxiety we all face.
I mean, it really makes you question if your unseen labor is just worthless in the grand scheme. Which is exactly why we're diving into this profound sermon today.
Oh, yes. Pastor Sung No at Praise Presbyterian Church.
Right, so he zeroes in on 1 Corinthians 15, which is the Apostle Paul's famous letter unpacking the resurrection, to basically show how this ancient concept shatters that exact fear of the dark treadmill.
Well, to really grasp why our daily grind actually holds weight, we first have to look at how Paul treats our physical limitations. I mean, Pastor No points out this fascinating secret in the text.
Wait, a secret about the end of the world?
Yeah, so usually the assumption is that our frail, exhaustible bodies are just discarded, like the physical earth is just abandoned.
Right, we always picture an evacuation, like this great escape to the clouds where the physical stuff just doesn't matter anymore.
Exactly. But the sermon clarifies that the last trumpet Paul mentions, it isn't some retreat siren signaling us to abandon ship.
So it's not a cosmic fire alarm?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
In the ancient world, a trumpet like that actually signaled the public cosmic victory march of a returning king. The physical world isn't being trashed, it's actually being transformed and renewed.
Oh, I love that. It's kind of like buying a dilapidated historic home. You don't just bulldoze it to put up a cheap plastic condo, right? You painstakingly restore the foundation and the walls to their original glory.
That is a perfect way to put it. God isn't abandoning his creation. He's restoring the historic home. And when you realize the physical body is destined for that kind of ultimate restoration, it completely flips how we approach the end of all earthly labor.
Which is death itself.
Right. And the sermon highlights this vivid, honestly almost shocking imagery of the early church literally singing songs to taunt death, chanting, where is your sting?
But hold on, wait. If the early church was literally mocking death, doesn't that sort of gloss over the very real pain of grief? I mean, we still cry at funerals.
We do, yeah.
It just feels a bit insensitive to tell someone grieving that death has no sting.
Oh, absolutely. And death remains a cruel, deeply painful separation. The pastor really doesn't diminish that hurt at all, but the key is understanding the actual mechanism of that sting.
Okay, how so?
Well, think of sin as the venom in a bee sting. According to Paul's letter, Christ absorbed that venom entirely.
Okay, so the bee of death might still buzz around, and it obviously still terrifies us, but it has no stinger left to cause permanent, eternal harm.
Yes, exactly. Because that venom is gone, death transforms from this final, terrifying courtroom verdict of doom into a mere doorway.
A doorway? Wow.
Right. So believers aren't singing because they aren't sad. They are singing through the tears, knowing the separation is painful, but temporary. The absolute finality of death is broken.
And knowing that separation isn't forever, well, that must completely alter what happens when you leave the funeral and wake up on Monday morning.
It changes everything. And that is the crucial pivot of the entire sermon. The ultimate application of the resurrection isn't just staring up at heaven waiting for the end.
Right, like just twiddling our thumbs.
Exactly. It's returning to the mundane, seemingly invisible realities of daily life. Pastor Non points to very specific acts.
Like what?
Like washing the dishes when nobody notices, or praying for a child who isn't changing, or even choosing honesty at work when it might actually cost you promotion.
Yeah, it's the difference between sitting comfortably in the sports bleachers and actually sweating down on the field.
That's it, exactly.
And the pastor warns against just being a spectator.
Right.
Like sitting in the stands, analyzing theology. You really have to jump the church walls, get onto the field, and serve a broken world.
Because grace is what fuels that daily effort. And since the resurrection guarantees the restoration of the physical world, it also guarantees that this effort is never wasted in God's ledger.
Like every unseen act of service actually carries eternal weight.
Yes, totally.
So that dark room with the treadmill we started with, the lights are actually on, and every single step is moving you toward a destination.
That's never in vain.
Which leaves you with this.
Yeah.
If you knew for an absolute fact that not a single act of love or unseen chore you did today would be wasted in the grand scheme of eternity, was the very next thing you would choose to do differently?